Welcome into 49 Sports FISU coverage. I'm Ben Steiner alongside Team Canada men's hockey coach and UNB Reds men's hockey coach, Memorial Cup champion head coach as well, Gardiner MacDougall. Gardiner, thanks so much for joining me today.
Well, terrific, Ben. It's always a pleasure.
And of course, you've been to the FISU games before. This year, it's a little bit different. It's a U Sports All-Star team. You named the team just a couple of days ago. What's sort of the outlook for this team that you're bringing to Lake Placid?
Yeah, no, I mean, first of all, it's a terrific honor, terrific privilege for our staff and our players. Where we look where we were a year ago. We had hoped to be over in Lucerne, Switzerland, and that had been canceled. And you look 2 years ago, we weren't even playing. So I think we take the best of the situation as an unbelievable opportunity for everybody involved. And, anytime I've been over with AUS All-Stars before, and both times over to Europe, to Italy, actually the same country both times. And, you had to work fast, but you knew those players probably a little bit better because they've been opponents. At that time, I think our teams were probably older. With COVID, I think the team overall, the range of players in U Sport now is a little bit younger overall. And now we got a team across the country. So, but, we got a terrific staff. We got great representation across the country. We're going to have to work fast. We have a little pre-camp in Ottawa and then have a couple of days of practice in Lake Placid. And then it's a busy, busy schedule after that. And, we'll have to make, the whole key with our group is try to find incremental improvement on a consistent and daily basis.
And let's get into the nitty gritty. I know that there's lots of people interested in sort of the breakdown of this roster. Of course, a few schools with no representation. Brock comes to mind, Alberta, Mount Royal. But the players who are going, who are some of the players that really stand out to you right off the bat, aside from the UNB guys who I know have definitely caught your eye?
Yeah, I think every player is on the roster for a reason. Some have offensive talents. Some have been, highly recommended by our staff and their coaches as maybe 200-foot players. I think when you play at this tournament, you're going to need players that can have offensive catalysts. Can move the puck, can carry the puck, but is equally important as players that can play away from the puck. I think we're looking for players that had speed, that were competitive, and that were, good character, high attitudes that would respond, really well to, I don't think I'm going to say a new plan, but a common plan.
And some electric offensive talent as well. Of course, Liam Howell, you're pretty familiar with him, having played on the other side or coached on the other side of the ice of him. He's been exceptional for St. FX. What does Liam bring to this roster?
Yeah, he's been a special talent since he's joined U Sport. He's proven that he can score goals and, score goals at a high rate. He's electric on the power play, and he scores big goals. We played him in the AUS final last year, a capacity crowd here at UNB, and it was a 2-1 game, but, we probably only had one or two chances in that game, but one was in the net with 2 seconds left in the period. So he's one of those players that just has a great shot and great offensive instincts.
And the leading goal scorer from the OUA also joining, Kyle Bowlers from TMU. You played him in preseason. You played him at the U Cup last year. What do you see from Kyle in terms of adding to this FISU roster?
Yeah, another electrifying player, I think you would call him. He's another player that on any given shift can break open a game. He's a little bit, more of a, speed slash to an opening or take advantage of a turnover. I think he's going to be really good on the penalty kill as well. He's a threat there. And, he's really coming into his own. I think last year was a coming out party for him. And this will be another step in his process, but he's got, great, qualities as both a person. He won a huge honor with U Sport last year. So as a person and a player, that will be a contributing factor to our team.
Just a little bit on your goaltenders, Roddy Ross, Matt Welsh of SMU, Ross of Saskatchewan, and Kai Edmonds of TMU.
Yeah, no, it's a, we were fortunate to get one from each conference across the country. And Kai, we considered him a second year as he played a year pro. There's some good first year players that probably weren't qualified. We kind of use sport ideas, that they play 1 year and are, have 1 year of experience and that type of thing. So I think Kai has been off to a tremendous start in Toronto there. We had the opportunity to play against him in a game. And he's as good as any goaltender we played in the first half, and there's some great goaltenders here in the AUS, and Matt got off to a tremendous start. He had a bit of an injury to last a little bit, and he's just recovering from that. And Roddy was, the top goaltender when we picked this team in early November in the West, so, and he's got good size. So, I think three top goalies that make that, that's got to be a strength of our team. And I think all three will bring different dimensions to that position for us.
And gold medals, no doubt the goal for your team. But how do you want this team to play when they hit the ice in Lake Placid?
I think the biggest thing with our group is, getting together and finding a way to be the most improved team in the tournament. So when we finally get in, and we're going to be in Potsdam first for the preliminary games, and the goal there, I think one thing about our group, when you have, elite players across the country, I think the longer we're together, the more opportunity we have to practice, and as a tournament, the more opportunity we have to play together. We should continue to get better, get to know one another, be able to push one another. I think the first 4 practices that we have before the tournament are really key to our foundation of, putting how we want to play in place, but also just raising the standard of the pace that we want to play at, and that every player, when we hit the ice for our first game, that we're at a Canadian standard of pace, how we want to play this tournament.
Trentino 2013, the last time that Canada topped the podium at the FISU Games in men's hockey. It's been 3 straight bronze medals since then. Gardiner, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yes, always a pleasure. Keep up the great work, Ben.